bill will be introduced in the current budget session of Parliament. The Aadhaar number or authentication shall, however, not confer any rights of citizenship or domicile. A social security platform will be developed for using Aadhaar to accurately target beneficiaries. This will be a transformative piece of legislation which will benefit the poor and the vulnerable. Secondly, we have already introduced a direct benefit transfer in LPG. Based on this successful experience, we propose to introduce a DBT on a pilot basis for fertilizer in a few districts of the country with a view to improving the quality of service delivery to farmers. Third, of a total of 5.35 lakh fair price shops in the country, automation facilities will be provided to 3 lakh fair price shops by March 2017. We have to bring transparency and efficiency in government procurement of goods and services. The Director General of Supplies and Disposal will establish a technology-driven platform to facilitate procurement of goods and services in various ministries and agencies by the government. To remove the difficulties and impediments to ease the doing of business, we will introduce a bill to amend the Companies Act in the current budget session of Parliament. The bill would also improve enabling environment for startups. The registration of companies will also be done in one day. Monitoring of prices of essential commodities is a key element of good governance. A number of measures have been taken to deal with the problem of abrupt increase in prices of pulses. Government has approved the creation of a buffer stock of pulses through procurement at a minimum support price and a market price through price stabilization fund. The fund has been provided with a corpus of rupees 900 crores to support the market intervention. Madam Speaker, for good governance, we have to capitalize on country's unity in diversity. To strengthen the understanding of each other, it is proposed to create a closer engagement between states and districts in a structured manner. Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat program will be launched to link states and districts, an annual program that connects people through exchanges in areas of language, trade, culture, travel and tourism. We shall do this through mutual agreement with participating states and districts. In 2017, the country will celebrate the 70th anniversary of our independence. We will chalk out the milestones for nation's journey beyond the 70th anniversary of independence. Dr. Toynbee, the historian, had observed that a chapter which had a Western beginning will have to have an Indian ending. My belief is that the year 2017 will unfold the great historian's dream. Our scheme of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat is a part of this mission. Madam, let me now elaborate on the fiscal situation in the context of the budget of 2016-17. While preparing this budget, I have received conflicting suggestions about the FRBM roadmap. Different schools of thought have argued either in favor of fiscal consolidation and stability or for a less aggressive consolidation and for boosting growth. I have weighed the policy option and decided that prudence lies in adhering to fiscal targets. Consequently, the fiscal target in the revised estimate of 2015-16 and the budget estimate of 2016-17 have been retained at 3.9% and 3.5% of GDP respectively. While doing so, I have ensured that development agenda has not been compromised. The total expenditure in this budget for 2016-17 has been projected at rupees 19.78 lakh crores, consisting of rupees 5.50 lakh crore under plan and 14.28 lakh crores under non-plan. The increase in planned expenditure is in the order of 15.3% over the current year's BE. Plan allocation has been given special emphasis to sectors like agriculture, irrigation, social sector, including health, women and child development, welfare of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, minorities, infrastructure, etc. Continuing with the policy of higher empowering states, the total resources being transferred to the states are to 99,681 crores more than RE of 15-16 and rupees 2,46,024 crores more than the actuals of 2014-15. Details of allocations in certain vital sector schemes and transfer to the states are given in Annexure 3 to the speech. This is the last year of the 12th plan. Successive committees have questioned the merit in having a plan and a non-plan classification of the government expenditure. A broad understanding over the years has been that planned expenditures are good and non-planned expenditures are bad. This results in a skewed allocation in the budget. We need to correct this and give greater focus to revenue and capital classification of government expenditure. We have therefore decided that the non-plan classification will be done away with from fiscal 2017-18. The Finance Ministry will closely work with the state finance departments and align central state budgets in this regard. To improve the quality of government expenditure, every new scheme sanctioned by the government will have a sunset date and an outcome review. A redeeming feature of this year's budget is that we have improved upon the revenue deficit target from 2.8% to 2.5% of GDP in the RE of 2015-16. The FRBM Act has been under implementation for more than a decade. Both central and state governments have made significant gains from the implementation of this act. There is now a school of thought which believes that instead of a fixed number as a fiscal target, it may be better to have a fiscal target range as the target, which would give necessary policy space to the government to deal with dynamic situations. There is also a suggestion that fiscal expansion or contraction should be aligned with credit contraction or expansion respectively in the economy. While remaining committed to fiscal prudence and consolidation, a time has come to review the working of the FRBM Act, especially in the context of uncertainty and volatility, which have become the new norm of the global economy. I therefore propose to set up and constitute a committee to review the implementation of the FRBM and give its recommendation on the way forward. As honourable members are aware, the 7th Pay Commission has submitted its report. Following the past practice, a committee has been constituted to examine the report and give its recommendations. In the meanwhile, I have made necessary interim provisions in the budget. We have rationalized and restructured more than 1,500 central planned schemes into about 300 central sector and 30 centrally sponsored schemes. This will avoid overlapping of expenditure. I reiterate that I remain committed to the financial requirements arising out of the economic packages that have been announced by our government and also commitments emanating from the reorganization of the states. I have also allocated an initial sum of rupees 100 crores each for celebrating the birth anniversary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay and the 350th birth anniversary of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Tax reforms. I shall now turn to tax reform, which is elaborated in Part B of my budget scheme. Madam Speaker, I shall now present my tax proposals. The government acknowledges the role of the taxpayer in the nation building. Each rupee of the tax contributes towards the government's effort to provide a better infrastructure, rural revival and social well-being. Taxation is a major tool to the government for removing poverty and inequality from the society. The posterity will not forgive us if we do not use this opportunity in this perspective. The thrust of my tax proposals this year falls in 9 categories. 1. Relief to small taxpayer. 2. Measures to boost growth and employment generation. 3. Incentivizing domestic value additions to help make in India. 4. Measures for moving towards a pension society. 5. Measures for promoting affordable housing. 6. Additional resource mobilization for agriculture, rural economy and clean environment. 7. Reducing litigation and providing certainty in taxation. 8. Simplification and rationalization of taxation. 9. Use of technology for creating accountability. Relief to small taxpayer. In order to lessen the burden on individuals with income not exceeding 5 lakhs, I propose the ceiling of tax rebate under section 87A from 2,000 to rupees 5,000. There are more than 2 crore taxpayers in this category who will get a relief of rupees 3,000 in their tax liability. The people who do not have any house of their own and do not get any house rent allowance from their employer today get a reduction of rupees 24,000 per annum in their income to compensate them for the rent they pay. I propose to increase the limit of deduction in respect of rent paid under section 80GG from rupees 24,000 per annum to rupees 60,000 per annum, which should provide relief to those who live in rented houses. The next, madam, is important. Presumptive taxation schemes under section 44AD of the Income Tax Act is available for small and medium enterprises, that is non-corporate businesses, with a turnover or gross receipts not exceeding 1 crore rupees. At present, 33 lakh small business people avail of this scheme, which frees them from the burden of maintaining detailed books of account and getting audits done. I propose to increase the turnover limit under this scheme to rupees 2 crores, which will bring big relief to a category of assessees in the MSME category. That is to say, anyone with a turnover in business of 2 crores, there will be a presumptive income of 8%. I also propose to extend the presumptive income taxation scheme to all professionals with gross receipts up to 50 lakhs, with a presumption of profit being 50% of their gross receipts. Madam, this for small businesses and all professionals, this will bring tremendous ease in their taxation matters. Measures to boost growth and employment generation. I had in my last budget speech mooted a proposal to reduce the rate of corporate tax from 30 to 25% over a period accompanied by rationalization of removal of various tax exemptions and incentives. In any case, the effective rate of tax paid by the companies comes to an average of 24.67 because of various exemptions which they are availing of. A phasing out plan of these exemptions and tax incentives was placed in the public domain. We have received a large number of constructive suggestions. The final phasing out of exemptions is given in an annexure to the speech. The highlights are as follows. The accelerated depreciation provided under the Income Tax Act will be limited to a maximum of 40% with effect from 1st April 2017. The benefit of deductions of research would be limited to 150% from 1st April 17 and 100% from 1st April 2020. The benefit of section 10AA to a new SEZ will be available to units which commence activity before 31/3/2020. The weighted deduction under 35CCD for a skill development will continue up to 1/4/2020. The reduction in corporate tax has to be calibrated with additional revenue expected from the incentives being phased out. The benefits of phasing out of exemptions are available to the government only gradually. In the first phase, therefore, I propose the following two changes in the corporate income tax rates. A, the new manufacturing companies which are incorporated on or after 1st March 2016 to be given an option of being taxed at 25% per surcharge plus cess, provided they do not claim any profit-linked investment-linked deduction and do not avail of any investment allowance and accelerated depreciation. Madam, new manufacturing companies will also bring jobs. I also propose to lower the corporate income tax rate for the next financial year of relatively small enterprises companies with turnovers not exceeding 5 crores.
झी 24 तास रहा एक पाऊल पुढे.